Hello there, Dental Nachos Nation. Terry Brock here, and it is now that wonderful time of the week. I always look forward to being with you at this time at 2 o'clock on Tuesday as we're looking at Tech Tips with Terry. That would be me, Tuesday at 2, and that's Eastern time, of course. But we're going to be talking today about a really great tool that is going to help you if you're using YouTube. Well, of course we are. I mean, come on, it's 2021, so we're all using YouTube, doing things with it, but there's a way that you can really get an advantage of making it much more effective and being able to make it easier for you with the tool that I'm going to talk with you about. Now, I've heard about this tool before for years, and I thought, okay, it was just not for me. It might be a little too complicated, etc. Well, boy, was I wrong. I found that as I got into it, I could do so much more and get a whole lot done. And I find that's what we got to do. We got to take those adventures and move forward. And we've learned that from our hero here, Paul Goodman. We affectionately call him Dr. Nachos. And he's encouraged us to keep pushing, keep going, stretching your brain, and trying to do some other things too. Talks about JFO, just find out. Go out there and do it. Well, we're going to be doing that today, again, with some tools. And this is what we like to do here. I love doing this with you to talk about some of the tools that are available for dentisting humans, as Paul talks about. Dentisting humans can use tools like YouTube and Facebook and others. This particular tool is one that is really good called TubeBuddy. And TubeBuddy is one that will help you. I'm going to show you what it does and particularly how it taps into the YouTube algorithms so that it's working in line with what needs to be done and how all these things can happen. So we're going to take a look at that, get a chance to show you what's available and how you can use this, what it will do. Now, it works with YouTube. So you get TubeBuddy and you go into YouTube to take a look at it. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to bounce over and share my screen with you. Here we go, bounce over here, and there we are. I'm on the screen here like this. This is my YouTube channel, and I've got my TubeBuddy account tied into that. You tie it into a particular area where you're going to be, and I'm really excited about this. Matter of fact, I'm beside myself on this one. Yeah, I know. Okay, work with me on this. See what they have to put up with Dental Nachos with me, but I want to bring you in to this. This is my channel here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click over here. Up here, there's a little icon that is TubeBuddy, and it taps into what we're going to do for using it with YouTube. So I'm clicking up here, click on that, and when I do that, well, here, let's go. Let's see. Should be working, and wouldn't you know, something really nice and funny is happening here. There it is. Okay, it's bringing it up there, and we got it. It is loaded. So you see what it's got there is it's got the Keyword Explorer. It's got Click Magnet, these kind of things. I'll explain that in just a moment. And over here it shows the options that you have available from dashboard, videos, live stream, playlists. This is what you would normally get in YouTube, and they have the extensions down here for TubeBuddy. One we're going to talk about particularly today is Keyword Explorer. This is really nice, and the way they put it together, and they let you nuance the words you're going to use, and it's not just a matter of me saying, hey, I think that's going to be really good, or my gut tells me that people want this. Well, Terry, your gut is nice, but it's been wrong. Instead, they use science. They're using an algorithm to search and find out what people are searching for. They also have an SEO, Search Engine Optimization Studio, so you can find more. Video topic planner, so you can start putting your videos together and show you how to put those together in a nice way. Tag lists, find lists of words that are going to be really important. That right there can really help you boost your views as well. Best time to publish based on what's working for you with your videos and your target market, etc. And then also Click Magnet, so how you can use those and the kinds of things that are going to be available with it. So a lot of good stuff there. We want to take a look at that. But also I want to mention to you that if you are working with this, you get over here and you get a chance to see us, we'd love to hear from you. We're going to be looking at the comments that come in. So if you've got some comments or you want to see some capabilities that are there, you got a question, then what you can do is just let us know, and we'll be happy to share that with you, see if you can do it. And also, particularly, we know people will leave comments afterwards. I leave those comments afterwards, and if you do that, then what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to respond back to you and see a little bit later what it is. So we'll be taking a look at a lot of those areas and seeing what's available in different areas. And so what I'm going to do right now is bounce over here into the Keyword Explorer, and I'm going to click on this right here so we can launch it and show you the magnificence of this. If I can use that word related to a tech tool, I think we can. It's really nice, and it gives you the ability to take a look at what's going on and what is working, what's trending, things like that. Now, this is real time. I mean, right now we're doing this real time, so you're seeing what's going on, and it's talking about the news. And by the way, when you do this, one of those things that I've noticed is it's showing what is trending, even news stories that might be a little bit unpleasant. So they are there, but it's showing all this is happening right now. And the reason it's doing that is because I'm based in the United States. And notice right here, it says what's trending, United States. And it gives you not only the United States, but look at this, all these other countries, which means you can tap into what's happening and that would be relevant to those close to you, wherever they might be. Like for instance here, if I said, okay, let's find out about the United Kingdom. The stories will change here. I'm popping in there. Looks like we're getting some slow internet connections today. Let me just check on the internet connection here. Yeah, we're in where it should be. It should be coming in there, but it is a little bit slower. And notice it's giving some stories here. These are stories that are hot based on the UK and what's happening there. I noticed several of them also are related to the Olympics, like they are here, and only they're looking at what's going on with those from the UK, of course. Do that. But this is one thing that we can do. Now, one thing you can do up here on the top, you'll notice we've got keywords that we can punch in. I'm going to put in a keyword showing you something that I did. I do a lot of work with Zoom. I train a lot of people, train the staff here, and still working with them on Zoom, although they're real good now. They understand how it is. But we talk about new features that come out, and I'll occasionally talk to the Dental Nacho staff about that. But because I'm using Zoom a lot, some of the things I talk about are how you make sure your meetings are coming alive and get away from Zoom fatigue. You might have heard of that term. Well, I thought, let's plug this in here and have some fun with it. I'm going to type in the word Zoom. And if I punch in the word Zoom, I'll click that in there. I got to move my camera around a little bit here so I can see this. There we go. And I'm going to click on Explore. And when I click on that Explore, notice what it's doing is it's loading some data that's out there, and it's giving me some related searches, some that are working here, showing me Zoom meeting, etc., just like you would think. And interesting that the internet speed here has slowed down enormously since I just started the program. I guess sometimes the tech gremlins and demons are out there to slow you down a little bit right there. Let's say, oh, it's telling me page unresponsive. That's interesting. Let's see, we'll click on this here and see what's going on. But what it will do is this will give you then particular readings of what you can do. Like for instance, it's showing me, oh, this is poor. This is not going to be a good word to use for a keyword by itself. And the reason? Well, look at this. Search volume. A lot of people are searching on it. But right here, the competition, which is weighted. Notice we have weighted and unweighted here. The weighted is what you get in a paid version of TubeBuddy. They have a free version. I'd recommend you get started with that. And I'll show you how to do that so you can get some extra benefits too. But you'll start with the free version, move up to the paid later. But you see, this paid version shows me, hey, this would be a poor idea because there's so much competition. As you can imagine, there's a lot of videos out on YouTube about using Zoom. But it shows here the optimization strength. Hey, it's pretty high. But what I want to do is I'm going to fine tune my search a little bit here. And where it says Zoom, I don't want just the word Zoom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some additional information. And here, wait a minute, erasing this. Let's put in Zoom. And I'm going to put in fatigue. There we go. Zoom fatigue. And then, and notice, by the way, what happens? It's giving me a list of topics that are already out there being used. Zoom fatigue TED Talk, Zoom fatigue funny video, Zoom fatigue funny, Zoom fatigue for students, etc., etc. And you'll see, if I were in a particular marketing niche, say if I were going to a psychologist, I can see there's a Zoom fatigue psychology. Hey, that might be kind of interesting on that one. Or I see autism down there. If I were working with mental health professionals and training, that would be real good. But what I'm going to do right now is I'll select over here on the Explore, and we'll get a chance to see how it does. Notice the little graph that is here that shows you on the chart where it's going to be. When this kicks in, it will give you the ability to see what's going on and what our number is. And it'll give us a quantifiable number, so that way we're not just guessing about it, but we're able to get some quantitative analysis as to what's really working and what isn't. And by doing that, we're going to be able to see a lot more. Also, by the way, over on the right side, as this is loading, you'll see it's got some related searches that we can look at those over there, so we could go more in depth to them and get a chance to see what is going on and be able to do that a little bit more. And this, again, for some reason, is okay. There it is. Kind of something. It still says it's poor. It looks like it is just slightly better, but still not enough. And I'm putting in zoom fatigue. That's not going to cut it. So that's helping me to know. But if I try, let me try modifying this a little bit more. And I'm going to allow it to look for some other variables, some other words that I might put in there, and say, okay, what I'm going to do here is put in, like, for instance, how to. Oop, we're getting a slow thing, unresponsive. For some reason, the page is getting really slow here. Well, let's try this and come over here and put how to beat Zoom fatigue. And I'll get rid of that semicolon that popped in there. We don't need that there. So how to beat Zoom fatigue. Now I'm getting a little bit more specific, not just talking about Zoom fatigue itself, but saying, okay, we want to get rid of Zoom fatigue. How do I beat it, or how would I fight it? I would start working with words like that to say, okay, this is what we can do a little bit more that way, and see if we're going to be able to get a little bit better results. Now, by the way, it is interesting, the slowness that we're getting here. I was doing a lot of practicing beforehand earlier today, and the speeds were much, much faster. I'm thinking something could be going on right about now. We did lose our power here in the condo where I am for a brief moment earlier this morning, and there might be some other issues going on with our local reception. And unfortunately, switching over to some hotspot with a cell does not give much speed either for this particular area. I think they've done some changes with the providers, and it's looking a little bit slower that way. But this, I still think if you look at the capabilities that you have with a tool like TubeBuddy, it gives you the ability to get a lot of information here on the Keyword Explorer. Even when the internet's working faster, it does much better. But it gives you the ability to zoom in on that. Plus, you can really enhance with some best practices. It gives you a checklist of what is working, what to do, what you're doing, and how to make it even better. Now, look at this. We jumped up from poor to very good. So you see what's happening here. You'll see under the right here, it's showing me a 67 over 100. So I'm in the very good category. This is nice here. Search volume. Okay, there's not as many searching for that, but those who would be interested in that, those people are going to be coming here. And look at this. The competition is showing me right now in the weighted, I would do very well. If it were down here on the left side, that would mean, hey, there's just too much competition. So there's not as many videos out there on how to beat Zoom fatigue. And by the way, I did put one out there. I didn't use those exact words. I did that before I got TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy I got and started working with just last week, and working with it, getting some work done on it, really enjoying that. And optimization strength, look at this. This is real nice. We can really go in there and zero in on it. So it's going to give you the ability, the capability to get a whole lot more done and be able to work with it, see what's available with it, and be able to see the kinds of features that are available, I think, that are really, really nice. It's giving you the ability to get more done in less time. And really, that's what it's all about. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we are covering the ground and using those tools to the max. So I would say, hey, if you're using a tool like YouTube, you're using YouTube and you're producing content particularly, you want to make sure that what you're doing is covering the ground in the most efficient way possible. Doing that is using something that's going to help you a lot. Looks like other things are getting affected here too. Something must be going on. Well, this is a good way to learn and to grow with this and see what's happening. It looks like the whole system seems to be slowing down and shutting down for some funny reason. Unknown why, but we will see what happens here. As we start doing that, we're sharing screen and my Stream Deck is over here. I'm going to move over here and adapt to another way of doing things. So we can move over to this, got it here, and I'm going to go over to this particular thing right here. Here is something, I want to show you that, but I want to show you this first and let you see something that's going to be handy that will help you a lot when you're working with YouTube to make sure you're complying with the algorithm that they have, how they're doing it, what can be done, and moving around with it and getting those features done. Here we are. Let's see, navigating this, navigating that. It looks like we've got some other features here that are out, and we're going to go over to here. Hey, hang in there for a moment. These are kind of fun. This is one of those real world things. What I'm going to do is write this down. I'm going to give you a key that you can use to get in there even faster. And what that is hold on a minute. There we go. There we go. You're going to do bit.ly. That's one of those shorteners that gives you the ability to shorten things down, /YTSEARCHING. This is a bit.ly that I just built. And you want to do that, I think, but it's a good idea to spell it right. I put 2 E's in there, and there's only 1 E these days in the word searching. So do that. But it looks like for whatever reason, my computer is really slowing down here and doing it. Okay. Here we are. We apologize for the technical features, but this is also real good to see, okay, these kind of things happen. And when they do, we roll with the punches and we make sure we spell it right. There we go. If I got YouTube YT searching, that should take us over there. I think it's going to work this time, and you will enjoy this. Here's something you want to do. If you're producing any videos for YouTube, then you want to see what they're saying. This is the official word from them at YouTube, and what they're saying, okay, this is what you've got to do. Do this, don't do that, and it will give you the ability to do that. It looks like we're getting real slow access on that as well. Here we go. All right, coming up now, see the YouTube search, and it gives you the ability to see what's there. I want to look at what they say. This is from YouTube themselves. They said at YouTube search, we prioritize 3 main elements to provide the best search results: relevance, engagement, and quality. To estimate relevance, we look into many factors such as how well the title, tags, description, and video content match your search query. Engagement signals are a valuable way to determine relevance. We incorporate aggregate engagement signals from users. That is, we may look at the watch time of a particular video for a particular query to determine if the video is considered relevant to the query by other users. That's a long word way to say, hey, they're doing what needs to be done. They're looking at what others are watching and how relevant it is to them, and then using these massive amount of computations to come up with what's going to work. Finally, for quality, our systems are designed to identify signals, that's important, that can help determine which channels demonstrate expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness on a given topic. All of this is extraordinarily important for you if you're producing with video, because what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have that expertise and come across in the right way. It's a real art and a science. And by the way, you might want to get a screenshot of this. This is that bit.ly, so you can get directly to that. This is YouTube's algorithm, what they do when they're using searching and how they're doing it. This can help you. You might also want to get this and just go over there, get the link, and send it to your favorite person who uses YouTube a lot, because these can be really handy if you know what you're doing and how you're doing it. Well, TubeBuddy is the tool we're talking about. It is available, and it really works very nicely. And matter of fact, I have an affiliate link for you, and that means you'll be able to get some extra benefits and goodies. And I'll talk to you if you sign up through this. I would recommend sign up for the free program first, and then YouTube will know that you came in through me, or I should say TubeBuddy will know that you came in through me, and they'll remember that. So if you decide to upgrade, I might get a few coins that way. But notice we have here TubeBuddy.com/Terry Loves TubeBuddy. And if you go with Terry Loves TubeBuddy, you'll get a chance to see that. You'll be able to get a chance to do a lot with it. And I think you'll find it can be really, really helpful and beneficial as you're using it. And so really nice. We got a comment here from Bob over in Chicago. Let's see, let me put this on the screen here for a moment. Actually, I should move this over to another place. There's Bob Pick. Always great stuff. Well, thank you, Bob. We appreciate that very much. And nice to hear from you. Hope you're doing well over there in Chicagoland. And Elaine's contacting us here from up in Canada. I say exactly what I need at this moment, Terry. I'm working on an automated webinar track to founders in transition to my family harmony map for farm transition. Yeah, very important. And something like TubeBuddy is a great tool. When you have good internet connections and it's working well, and I've changed it back and forth, it's really nice to be able to say, let me try this word. Oh, that didn't do so well. Let me try this phrase. Oh, that one seems to resonate better. And they're getting that from thousands and millions, even billions of pieces of data. what has worked with this demographic, what has worked with this demographic at this time of day in this geography, and all kinds of permutations like that that would be important. They're taking care of that and working with it. So Elaine, yeah, I'd encourage you to take a look at that and see what it is. And by the way, let me know how that works for you. If you try it, I'd be curious to find out how it worked for you and what happened as you tried it and used the different programs that are out there. So those are available and you can do it. Well, that's what it's all about here at Tech Tips with Terry, Tuesday at 2, talking about all kinds of good things that are happening. TubeBuddy is one of those. It gives you the ability to get a lot done. And for me, I wish I would have got it years ago. I should have. Now I look at it and go, ugh. So in a way, I think about, well, you know, the Confucius, who said, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. And the second best time is right now. So now is when I've got it, and I'm going to be using that and working with it, getting a lot done and moving forward. So as Paul Goodman talks about it, our Dr. Nachos here, we're going to just be nice, JBN, just be nice, and we can make sure that we stay with the technology, bringing in technology that's going to help us to get a lot more done and be able to make life better. And by the way, if you're in the dental community, I'd encourage you to look into Dental Nachos Supreme, because this is where you get a lot of community. You get a chance to hear from Paul Goodman himself on a regular basis. You hear from him directly. He's there in live group sessions and helps you on that. Plus, you're going to be able to get a lot of good ideas and CE credit too, which always helps. You want to find out more about that? Here's what you want to do. You want to text Supreme to 215-543-6454. If you are a dentisting human, as Paul Goodman says, you're in the dental community, you will find this helpful. 215-543-6454 is that number that you use for texting. Send that over there for the Supreme. Well, I'm Terry Brock, and I always look forward to being here with you. Thank you so much for being with me today and hanging in there. In the midst of a computer acting goofy, sometimes we'll have to take it to the woodshed and have a good talk with it and say, okay, computer, what are you doing there? But I think it's probably a little bit of computer, probably a little bit of what's going on with internet access here in our particular area. So those things happen. But anyway, we're going to see you next week. Remember, it's real easy to remember, Tuesday at 2, talking tech tips with Terry. I'm Terry Brock. Thank you.